And back with the 15th chapter of A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Sandy's Tale, lots of stops and starts in this, for which I apologize, but imagine that you are the main character on his horse listening to this very disjointed story that Sandy is telling him. And so they rode and came to a deep valley full of stones, and thereby they saw a fair stream of water. Above thereby was the head of the stream, a fair fountain, and three damsels sitting thereby. In this country, said Sir Marhaus, came never knight since it was christened, but he found strange adventures. This is not good form, Alisande. Sir Marhaus, the king's son of Ireland, talks like all the rest. You ought to give him a brogue, or at least a characteristic expletive. By this means one would recognize him as soon as he spoke, without his ever being named. It is a common literary device with the great authors. You should make him say, "In this country be jabbers. Never came knight since it was christened, but he found strange adventures, be jabbers." You see how much better that sounds? Came never knight, but he found strange adventures, be jabbers. Of a truth, it does indeed, fair lord, albeit 'tis passing hard to say, though, peradventure, that will not tarry, but better speed with usage. And then they rode to the damsels, and either saluted other, and the eldest had a garland of gold about her head, and she was 60 winter of age, and more. The damsel was? Even so, dear lord, and her hair was white under the garland. Celluloid teeth, $9 a set, as like as not. The loose-fit kind, that go up and down like a portcullis when you eat, and fall out when you laugh. The second damsel was of 30 winter of age, with a circlet of gold about her head. The third damsel was but 15 year of age. Billows of thought came rolling over my soul, and the voice faded out of my hearing. 15, break my heart. Oh, my lost darling, just her age, who was so gentle and lovely, and all the world to me, and whom I shall never see again. How the thought of her carries me back over wide seas of memory to a vague, dim time, a happy time, so many centuries hence, when I used to wake in the soft summer mornings out of sweet dreams of her, and say, "Hello, Central," just to hear her dear voice come melting back to me with a "Hello, Hank." That was music of the spheres to my enchanted ear. She got $3 a week, but she was worth it. I could not follow Alisande's further explanation of who our captured knights were now. I mean, in case she should ever get to explaining who they were, my interest was gone. My thoughts were far away and sad, by fitful glimpses of the drifting tale, caught here and there and now and then. I merely noted in a vague way that each of these 3 knights took one of these 3 damsels up behind him on his horse, and one rode north, another east, and the other south, to seek adventures, and meet again, and lie, after year and day, and without baggage. It was of a piece with the general simplicity of the country. The sun was now setting. It was about 3 in the afternoon when Alisande began to tell me who the cowboys were, so she had made pretty good progress with it, for her. She would arrive some time or other, no doubt, but she was not a person who could be hurried. We were approaching a castle which stood on a high ground, a huge, strong, venerable structure, whose grey towers and battlements were charmingly draped with ivy, and whose whole majestic mass was drenched with splendours flung from the sinking sun. It was the largest castle we had seen, and so I thought it might be the one we were after, but Sandy said no. She did not know who owned it. She said she had passed it without calling when she went down to Camelot. And that is the end of chapter 15.